Recording in progress. Now, probably most of you have to click accept on that as well. And I'm going to put myself on speaker view. All righty. Okay, so now that we started recording, welcome again. Welcome to everybody that listening to the recording, not only here physically, we still have a few people that are coming and a few people that are now going to watch the recording. So first of all, I'm super excited to have you guys. I'm super excited for today's workshop, and I'm super excited for the 21 days that we're going to be going through together as of January 1st. So I'm going to start off with the agenda. I'm going to start off with a couple of, like, I call it not rules of engagement, but let's say guides of engagement of how we all operate together. And then we're going to dive into the topic of setting intentions, of sharing what you guys want to achieve in the next couple of weeks, what kind of energy you guys want to have, like all of these things. We're going to start off with that. First things first, questions. I'm going to give you room in between just to open up for questions, because if I go into all of the questions all the time, that we might not ever get finished with what we're doing. If something pops up in between, you can always post it in the chat. If it's like really relevant to what I'm saying right now, you can always post it in the chat. I do see the chat, or I go into it occasionally, and then I can answer it right away if it's relevant to what I'm saying. If not, then I'll take it. So I keep doing breaks. Okay. All righty. So let me just have a quick check in my messenger, just to make sure that nobody's having difficulties to join, because that's usually what happens, and people write messages and then nobody's there to answer. Okay, no messages, all good, all safe. All right, so the agenda. So today we have the intention setting workshop. It's going to be about 2 to 2.5 hours. So meaning 6:30 Central European time. And then we have a couple of days that are off, which in this time, you're going to have time to integrate all of the things that we're going to do today. So that means today we're actually going to set the intentions for the next 21 days. But the way we do it is going to enable you to set the intention for the next year. Okay, so that means in the workshop, we're going to do it together, and then you're going to do it the same way for 2022. And that's going to be what you're going to do between now and January 1st. And that's why this workshop is specifically before January 1st, so that we hit the ground running with great energy into the new year. Okay, so that is the first thing. The second thing is that we start on January 1st. We start at 6 p.m. Central European time. The reason for that is that typically people are a bit hungover, and I don't want to force people to start at 9 a.m. on the first day of the year. Every day after that, we're always going to be at 9 a.m. Central European time. And how it's going to work is I'm going to do a 20 to 30 minute Zoom meeting. So they're all going to be on Zoom. And at the same time, they're going to be live streamed into our Facebook group. And it's always going to be 20 to 30 minutes of me talking, explaining a topic, answering some questions, and then giving you an exercise for the day. All of these are going to be streamed and recorded. So that means if you cannot make it, whatever happens, like, you have all the recordings in the group. I have some people, like I have one person today that signed up, and she's starting on 10th of January, also fine. So it just means that you're going to catch up later. The things are intended that you shouldn't ever take longer than an hour per day for these exercises, but you do it in your own time, your own energy, your own thing. A lot of the things also that we're going to be going through are not necessarily exercises that are like you sit for half an hour and you do something, but more like being aware of an energy or something particular throughout the day, noticing things. Like one of the exercises is going to be noticing beauty throughout the day. So that's not something where I say it takes an hour every day. You should notice things and become aware of things. That's part of why we're here and part of what we're doing. All right, so that is in terms of the agenda and the logistics. We have a Facebook group. The Facebook group, I'm going to send you all the invite link at the end of this meeting, and then you just join the Facebook group. The Facebook group is there in order, first of all, to give structure around this 21 days. You have all of the meeting information, the meeting invites, all of these things are all in there. And also it's a huge part of the process in terms of celebration. So I really want you to celebrate yourself, but also I want you to share how you're doing, how you're feeling. As I said, this is an open group, so everybody's here to support each other. We walk this walk together. So this is something that is super, super important for me, that we all walk this together. We all here to support each other through the good times and the bad times, right? So this is like a marriage for 21 days. Okay. So that means we are all going to engage with each other. If you have something where you're like, oh, I tried this exercise and I just can't do it, or it really sucks, write it in the group, get some feedback from the others. It can turn out that everybody is having a hard time with it, and then you don't feel so alone. On the other hand, if you have something to celebrate, if you have a huge milestone that you have managed to do, or if you're celebrating, I don't know, that you bought yourself chocolate or flowers, anything, you can celebrate anything. Okay. So celebrate yourself, celebrate the others, but also feel free to post your concerns, the things you're working on, hardships, anything. Okay. All right. And what else? Yes. The topic of vulnerability. This is one that is really important to me. So vulnerability can be really hard for some people, because being vulnerable means you're not perfect. And one of the things we all love doing, especially women, is being perfect. And therefore, what I noticed in the past programs I've been running in a group format, and also I noticed myself when I'm participating in group programs, is the more vulnerable I am and the more I share my journey, so the good and the bad, the more learnings I take, the more I grow, and the faster I overcome the things that are concerning me or worrying me. So I know it's scary to be vulnerable. I know it's scary to admit that you're having a hard time, but I really want you to feel that this is a community and a space where you can share this. And this is a community and space where people are going to support you and are going to be there for you. And so if not for yourself, do it for the others. This is the way that I used to see it. Like, I posted things so many times in groups when I felt really raw and very vulnerable. And I figured out that a lot of people were feeling the same way. And I was like, aha, okay, so I'm not the only idiot that feels this way. And so it helps both ways, because it helps you, but it also helps other people to feel, oh, I'm actually feeling exactly the same way. I'm so happy. I'm not the only one. It works both ways, right? So this is something that I would really ask you to do. And I would like all of your commitment to be okay with that. Do I have all of your commitment to be okay with that? Yes, you did just nod or this, whatever you like. Okay, perfect. Thank you so much. So the questions, as I said at the beginning, I'm always going to open up for questions in between. So I'm always going to cover a part, open up for questions, cover a part, open up for questions. And if you have any additional questions, you can also post them in the chat, and I will pick them up and see if they're relevant to the context of what we're speaking right now, or if I take it up later, or if it's something that I'm covering at a later point in time. All right. Okay. So do you have any questions at this point regarding the agenda, logistics, all the things? No. Okay, great. All right. So one of the first things, we're going to start right off with the very first exercise, and that is going to be to write down what you're grateful for. I'm going to give you 2 minutes just to write down what you're grateful for right now, in general, whatever it is, what you're grateful for. And then right after that, we're going to go into a quick introductory round, but I wanted to do the exercise with the gratitude first. Okay. All right. You've got 2 minutes. All right, the time is up. So what I would just like you to do is to write in the chat, how many things did you find? Like if you can just quickly count how many things you found and just write it into the chat, just the number, not the things. 10. Charlotte, is that 10 or 1? 10. Okay, good. Heather got 9. Bea got 10. Katri got 5. All right. What else have we got? Okay. All right. Okay, so you guys can continue posting in the, I hope the guys that have not posted yet have a lot more. That's the reason why it's taking so long. Okay, so Christina, 3. I didn't see that. 3. Okay, great. So before I get you to introduce yourself, there are 3 things that I'm gonna ask you to do during these couple of days. The first one is that it's going to completely shift your energy, because I know a lot of you are working on shifting your energy, right? So getting into a more positive state of mind. We've got things happening from the outside. We've got lockdowns. We've got all kinds of things that are going on that have put us in, some of us, in a negative state of mind. And one of the fastest ways to get out of that is to practice gratitude and to practice it daily. So one of the things that I already want you to start doing right now is every day in the morning, when you wake up, you open your eyes, I want you to think a couple of things that you're grateful for. It doesn't matter how many, but what you're going to notice is that the speed of things is going to go much faster. And it can be just, wow, I'm grateful for the beautiful light that's coming into the window. I'm grateful for that my neck isn't hurting tonight because I slept on the better pillow. I'm grateful for my husband sleeping next to me. I'm grateful for my cat that's waking me up in the morning. I'm grateful for my clients that I'm going to call now. I'm grateful for my kids that are coming to spend New Year's Eve with me. I'm grateful for my friends. I'm grateful for, it can be anything that you can be grateful for, from the nice pillow that you have to light, to coffee, to whatever it is. Okay, but I really want you to get into that habit, because gratitude for things that you have is going to do 2 things. First, it's going to shift your energy in the way that you are and the way that you feel. Katri already says, I have lots more now. Very good. You're grateful for your pillow and things, right? And the second thing is that if you want to manifest more, if you want to practice manifesting, and it's one of the things that you came here for, to learn manifesting, is the condition to learn or to do any manifestation is gratitude. The universe will only give you more of what you want if you're grateful for what you have. This is the rule number 1 of manifesting, and the rule number 1 of shifting our energy. And it is also the rule number 1, you may have noticed, that extremely unhappy people are the people that always want more and are never grateful for what they have. Goes something like this. I already have a Mercedes convertible, but I want to have a Porsche convertible, and I'm really unhappy about having just the Mercedes, because they're never grateful for the thing that they have, even though the thing they have was something like, a lot of people dream about having a Mercedes convertible. It's like, why the hell are you complaining about a Mercedes convertible? Why can't you be happy with a Mercedes convertible? Why does it have to be the Porsche? And other people are not happy with that at all, right? So some people are like, oh my God, if I could ever have a Mercedes convertible, that would be absolutely amazing. And the people that have it oftentimes are not grateful for having it, and they actually want more. And so this is one of the biggest rules that we have in the universe, is if you want more, if you desire more, you need to be grateful for what you have. Okay. And for me, for example, I get asked this question a lot. So how do you practice gratitude? I practice gratitude so many moments of my life, and I noticed a huge shift in my energy and in everything if I don't practice it enough times during the day. So for me, for example, I don't practice gratitude when I wake up in the morning. I practice gratitude. So one of the first things I do in the morning is I get coffee. And so whilst I make the coffee and when on the way to the desk, I always have this ritual that I stop at the window, I look outside, no matter where in the world I am, I look outside and I just like, wow, look at the light, look at the trees, look at this. Like, I'm grateful for nature. I'm grateful for the client call that I'm not going to jump on, or the call with my friend that I'm not going to jump on. I'm grateful for, I have a beautiful set of flowers that I got here from my mentor that I'm grateful for. I got gifted a box of chocolates from one of my clients that I'm grateful for. You know, it's these small things, they make a huge difference. And I noticed, for example, that for me during Christmas, I was a lot in the to-do mode. There were a gazillion things to do. And there were 2 or 3 days where I forgot to be in the energy of gratitude. And it had a huge impact on how I was feeling. Like I was exhausted at the end of the day. I was like, one more to do. Oh, I don't want to have anything more to do, because I wasn't practicing this gratitude for a couple of days. Okay. So this is the first thing. The second thing is I want you to focus on feeling good. Okay. So that is why I asked you before, do something that makes you feel good. Get chocolate, get coffee, get flowers. I don't want to pick them up. Otherwise the roses are going to fall on my head, but do something that makes you feel good. Like another thing about cozy is I always have this cashmere thing. It makes me feel really nice and good. I've got really good, nice, cozy slippers on. Like I set the intention to be in the energy of being cozy now when I'm setting my intention. So that means I set up my environment. I have some candles lit here. I've got my coffee. I've got my water. I've got my chocolate. Like I set the environment for the state that I want to feel in. So sometimes, for example, when I do business calls, I put on high heels, even though nobody sees them, right? Nobody sees that I'm wearing high heels, but I feel it and I feel different, and I feel different in the energy and the vibe. So sometimes when we want to shift the way we feel, we can shift something on the outside, right? So we can light a bunch of candles, we can put on our high heels, we can put on different clothes, right? You can do your hair different, your makeup different, you can put on lipstick. Like if you want to be in a feel in a different state of mind, or you want to dedicate your state of mind on that day to something different, change something on the outside. That helps a lot in order to shift that energy. So today, because it's intention setting, I set the mood for cozy, right? So I've got all the cozy things, got my slippers, got my cashmere in case I'm cold. I've got my coffee that's also warm. It's beginning to get dark outside, right? So it's all of these things that make you feel good and cozy, which is great for setting intentions. You want to feel good. Okay. So that's the second thing, is that when you show up to these 9 a.m., so on the first day on the 6 p.m. and all the other days on the 9 a.m.s, I want you to get into the intention of feeling good. If it's sitting there with your orange juice, sitting with your coffee, having something that tastes really good, having something that smells really good, like you want to play around with the senses a little bit, and you can play around with the senses of feeling something different every day. So you can have one day, you can have 5 different candles and you light a different one every day because they have different smells. You can have a different kind of juice every day. You can just to mix it up a little bit of playing with the senses and playing with things that make you feel good. And you will find that the more you play around with that, the difference it will make you feel. And the third exercise that I want you to do, so we have gratitude, feeling good. And the third one I want you to do is to actively look for beauty. Look for beauty in the small things. Look for beauty in looking at the sky, looking at clouds, looking at flowers that you bought for yourself or that your husband bought for you, looking at things that may be new to you, or things that you may have for some time already. And just look and appreciate the beauty and just say, wow, that's beautiful. Something like even for me, it was Christmas gifts, for example. I just looked at the wrapping and I was like, wow, even the wrapping is beautiful. Like, don't know yet what it's inside, but the wrapping itself is already extremely beautiful. So look for beauty and look for things around you. That's going to be the three. So those are the three things that I would ask you to do on pretty much a daily basis, right? These three things are really, really, really important. Okay, so now that we've discussed that, I want to make a round of getting you guys to introduce yourself, just very briefly and very quickly. So your name, where you're from, something unusual about you, and what is, like, why are you here in a nutshell? Okay. All right. Who wants to start? I know nobody ever wants to start. Okay, Charlotte, come on up.
Hi, well, I'm the reason why some other people are here as well.
That's true.
That's true, isn't it? Yes.
Yes.
Well, that's who I am. I am an activator.
Activator.
Activator, yeah. Well, I'm Charlotte, and I live in Stockholm, Sweden, and I'm an entrepreneur, career coach, LinkedIn expert, author, speaker when it comes to profession. Married, 2 kids when it comes to life, 2 houses. Want to get out of Sweden as much as I can when it's winter and summer as well. What's unusual about me? I play the accordion. Yeah, that's unusual, isn't it?
That is unusual.
That
Okay,
is unusual,
nice.
yes. And why I'm here? Well, I am very much into shifting energy and shifting your mindset. I have really exciting and intentions and goals for the next 2 years, and involving a lot of, helping a lot of people, which I've already done for many years. But I think the shifting of the energy, managing your thoughts, managing your energy is extremely important also for me, but also wanting, to learn more on how you can do this and not take days to do it, actually quickly change from maybe 1 minute to another, 1 second to another. And because Nadia, you and I have known each other now for a few years, I, of course, wanted to be in your program. Of course, I know how good you are.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Wonderful. Shifting energy. Yes, that's what we're going to be doing a lot.
Learning manifestation better. It's also very important to me.
Learning manifestation better. Yeah. So so definitely shifting energy is something we're going to do a lot here. And I'm going to throw you guys into some cold waters, and some waters are going to be cozy warm and some waters are going to be a bit cold. Some things are going to be challenging and some things are going to be super easy. All of you need to do what feels good for you. So I'm not going to force anybody. I'm not going to run after anybody. I'm not going to check your homework. I'm not your teacher. But what is important for me is that you differentiate and you notice the energy yourself. So if you feel a resistance to doing something, then notice, where does the resistance come from? Is it fear or is it procrastination, right? Is it fear or procrastination, or is your subconscious telling you not to do it because it's not right for you? If it's fear, the question is, where is the fear coming from? And that's something you should sit down and feel into it and feel the energy and make some notes. If it's procrastination, then you just need to give yourself a good kick in the butt, or ask the group to give you a good kick in the butt and to say, just get on with it. We've all already done it. And if it is your subconscious telling you not to do it, then I would encourage you to think about, why is that? Is there really something where your energy is saying, like, sometimes we have this that our intuition tells us, don't do it. And then the question is, again, is it fear or procrastination, or is it really your subconscious that's telling you, I don't think this is a good idea. I don't think you should be doing this. In this case, don't do it. Okay. But I want you, if there's resistance coming up, I want you to notice where that resistance is coming from and feel into it, if you should be doing this exercise or not, or why not. Because if it's, again, if it's fear or procrastination, you should do it anyway. If it's your subconscious telling you, this doesn't feel right, then don't do it. Okay. So this is another really important one. And yes, we are going to be learning manifestation as well. This is not a course dedicated to manifestation, because I have other ones that are dedicated specifically to that, but it is going to be part of the program. And like what we're doing today of setting intentions is already a big part of that, because if you don't set intentions, if you don't know what you want, you can't manifest, right? So you need to know what you want and set intentions in order to be able to manifest and your desires. Okay, great. Who wants to go next?
I can go next.
Okay.
Okay. Hey, Heather.
Hi, I'm one of the friends of Charlotte, who was,
Yes.
I'm not going to use the word hijacked, but I was convinced with a few words to join this. I'm very grateful for that. Thank you, Lotta, Charlotte. Well, I live in Linköping, which is 2 hours south of Stockholm. I've been living here since I started studying in 1977. I work at Linköping University with leadership development. Development and support. So that is my profession, and I have 3 kids and 2 grandchildren of 3.5 and 7 months. I'm not married to my children's father. I'm divorced from him 14 years ago, and I've just now, a few months ago, separated from my relationship, long relationship after that marriage. So I'm single at present. I don't really know what's surprised. I didn't know that you played the accordion, Lotta.
That's why it's unusual, right?
Yeah. I can't
Piano
really think
accordion.
of something that is unusual about me, but up till 2 years ago, I used to sing opera in a little opera group, and I also up till 1 year ago, in the beginning of the pandemic, I sang in a rock band as well. So that's at least a
Nice.
contrast.
Opera and rock band. That's interesting.
Yeah. Now I'm just in regular choirs.
Wonderful. So why are you here?
Well, because Charlotte thought it would be a good idea for me. I hadn't heard about this. Well, with only a few words, about 2 months ago, I think, when Charlotte and I had a weekend together. But I was inspired by Charlotte. I need to lift myself. I broke up from this relationship, and that is a thing that is at the top of my agenda right now, or the top of where I'm at. Sort of, I broke the relationship because I felt it was destructive, and even though I know it was a good decision, I'm not feeling good.
Okay.
Naturally.
So you're here to lift your energy overall. So to get into this habit of feeling good again.
Yeah, to get past the sorrow of it, sort of.
Okay. All right. Okay. So I do want to say something that is really important here, because there is something that is really dangerous when it comes to shifting energy, is to not deal with emotions. So in terms of like, okay, I have a breakup, or something bad is happening in my business, or something bad is happening somewhere else, and just be like, no, I need to be in a good mood, so I'm just gonna like wipe it over and push it away and not deal with it. Because the problem is, if we do that, it's like a boomerang. So it's like we throw it away, and then at some point it comes back and it hits us harder. So it's like this, and the thing is that it really hits us harder. So the lesson becomes bigger, louder, more mean, more annoying, more every single time, as long as we don't look what's actually going on, and as long as we don't deal with the emotion of what's actually happening. And one of the most important things that I've learned in the past couple of weeks and months, and I just posted about this actually yesterday or 2 days ago, is the challenge of being in 2 energies at the same time. So, and this is what I want to give to you, Heather, is you can learn, and this is what I would like you to set this intention for yourself for the next 21 days, is, if you want, is to learn to walk with sadness and joy at the same time. Because it's not about saying, oh, I had a breakup and I'm going to wipe away the energy and not deal with it. It's about, yes, I'm sad. Yes, I'm upset. And I'm allowed to be sad and upset. I'm allowed to cry. I'm allowed to grieve. I'm allowed all of these things. But at the same time, I'm allowed to experience joy. I'm allowed to manifest amazing things into my life. I'm allowed to set intentions for new love coming my way. I'm allowed to set intentions for the most amazing year of my life. Like all of these things are still allowed to come into your life, but you're still going to have times where you sit and where you're going to be sad, annoyed, angry, all of the things. And so if I may suggest that you reframe your intention into that of learning, you know, dealing with both emotions at the same time, I think that would be really powerful for you.
That sounds very wise. Thank you.
Okay, wonderful. All right, who's next?
Okay. Hi.
Hey, Katri.
Hello. Hello. Yes, my name is Katri. I am living in Sweden, in Upplands Väsby near Stockholm. And I have a family I'm married with Jonas, and I have 2 daughters. One daughter is 23 and the other one is 11. So I have 12 years between my daughters.
Wow.
With the same husband that we've been together in about 30 years. So it's 32 years this year. Yes, 2022. I've been working professionally. I have 2 companies, one with my husband and then one consultant firm that I started up for 2 years ago. And I've been a really hardworking woman since I was about 13 years. I have a long career with I've gone the long way, doing a lot of things, and gone up to be a CEO and in a company that was listed in the stock market. So
Wow.
that was the biggest challenge, and one of the women 11 stock CEOs in Sweden, woman CEOs. So those 3 really challenging. So I have been working really hard for many years, and then I just I need to drop out for 3 years ago because I wanted to think about what I want to do for myself, because I've been working really hard for others in other companies, and I wanted to start something on my own and work to do for my own in a different way. And that was really hard. It was harder than I thought, because my identity was with my work. So it was really hard to do the shift during those years, to a little bit lost. Who am I? What should I do in the future? And just take the courage to stop and think and feel. And I wanted to be at home with my family as well more, because I've been traveling outboard for many years and haven't been home so much. So I wanted to take a break for everyone, and then to shift up and set some new goals. So I've been taking a little easy in a couple of 2 years, and I haven't worked so much. Take some jobs with through my consult firm, but not so many. And then now I'm really hungry. So I want to start up and come back again, because now I think that I've been resting a long time, and so now I have the energy, and I want to have more energy and come up to another level again, and not just walk. I've been home too much. So I think it's time to. That's why Charlotte took me to this as well. Get the tip. So I was interested directly. I think, okay, this is very interesting, and to have some. It's a perfect thing to do the travel inside myself together with others, and set some new goals for the next coming years. And not be on hold, because it feels like I'm being on hold. So that's the thing. Yeah.
Can I ask a question? Do you know what your purpose is?
My purpose is for this.
In general.
In general, yeah. The general thing is that I feel that I want to to work and do something that I was meant to be to do. And I think I know that more clearly now. And because I love to work with people and like to help people to achieve things, because I've been a leader so many years for different companies. And that the thing that I always got a really positive energy from, that it didn't take an energy for me, was to help other people to grow in their profession or as a human being. So my goal is to be in a place and work with things that gives me the energy, not take the energy of me, that gives me. So I feel that I'm in the right place.
That's good. That's good. I would set the intention that you know your purpose a bit better.
Yeah.
Because it's helping people is quite general. And the thing is that if you ask a lot of people, they will tell you my goal in life is to help other people, which is amazing and really important. That's why I think there has been a boom in coaches in the last couple of years.
Yeah, of course.
Which is good and very important. But the question is, what are you going to help people achieve? So
Yes.
to get a bit, to dig a bit deeper there, I think that would be a great intention to set for the next couple of days.
Exactly. So exactly what to do in specific. I think I know that, but I haven't write it down. So, like that.
You haven't defined
it.
Connected.
Exactly. And that is connected to me personally, because I've done it, but it's have been company goals more than my own goals in that way. Yeah.
It's harder when we do it for ourselves than it is when we do it for another company.
It's really easy to do when you have to do it in a company in that way. But if you do it just for yourself, then you need to do it more. It's another exercise.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Beautiful. Welcome. Thank you so much for sharing. Then we move on to the next. Oh, something unusual about you.
Oh, unusual. Ooh. Well, not many people know that I talk Finnish fluently.
Ooh, okay, that's a good one. Finnish, I like that. Okay, great. Thank you. Okay, Christina, I see you don't have a camera, and that's perfectly fine. But since you want to work on your self-esteem and work on regaining on your confidence, what I would like you to do is, even though you don't have a camera, but maybe you can unmute yourself and tell us this. If you find that, I'll try to help you. I'll ask you to unmute. Let's see if I can manage. There we go. There you are. Christina, you want to try to say something? Could be also technical difficulties. Okay, we cannot hear you. Can anybody else hear her, or is it just me? No. No. Okay, it was worth a try. Lucky you. You got you got the technical difficulties on your side for now. And so if you want to get a camera and if you want to get a microphone, that would be really good, because it's going to enable you to share and participate more for the next couple of weeks. Okay, but I'm going to read what you said. I'm Christina from Uddevalla, Sweden, mother of 2 girls. I own an Arabian stud. I don't really know what's special about me, so that's going to be your homework to find out what's special about you. I'm here because I have bad self-esteem. I need to regain my confidence in myself. Very good. We look forward to having you, Christina. Thank you so much for sharing. All right, then we have Bea and Gunnel. Do I say that right? Gunnel, do I say that right?
Gunnel, yes.
Gunnel, okay, sorry.
Yes.
Do you want to go next, or Bea, do you want to go next?
Yeah, I can go next.
You can go next. Okay.
Yeah. So I'm Gunnel, and I'm the big sister of Charlotte. And we have been working together for 18 years now
Mhm.
in the same company. So I has been working as a career coach and lecturer, and yeah, that's what I've been doing all these years.
Beautiful.
And it's also the most interesting job I've had during my whole career. So I woken up every morning happy for my job because I
That's
really
amazing.
love doing it. So, well, I used to be married, but I'm not any longer. And I was divorced, and then my husband died, and then our mutual dog came back to me. So now it's him and I living together.
Mhm.
I'm the mother of 2 sons, and I also have 4 beautiful grandchildren. I hope I will meet at least 2 of them tomorrow.
Great.
Yeah. And what's special about me, I've really been thinking here, but the only thing I can think of really is that, well, I've been having a business on the internet selling things since 2003.
Wow.
So, yeah, so when my husband was alive, we used to work together with it. And for the money we traveled all over the world doing a lot of things. Now I do it every year around Christmas just to get rid of things because I've been collecting far too many things through my life. So therefore in November, December each year, I just try to sell out a lot of things.
Okay. Wonderful.
Yeah, and the reason I'm here, it's of course, like a few of the others also said, it's because Charlotte said, this is what you need some energy.
Yes.
do.
So positive
Need
energy.
A lot of energy.
Positive energy.
Yeah, but the thing is, I understand why she said that, because there has been so many changes in my life these last 3 or 4 years. I live a completely different life than I did 3 years ago. I live after having a life with living together with someone since 73. I'm on my own. I have moved out of the big house I have to a bit much smaller flat. I bought a summer house together with my children. I don't work as much as I did before. I still love working, but I'm also at that age that I think, well, one day someone is going to say that you're far too old to work with. I work as long as I think it's as long as I enjoy it, but I realize that somewhere I don't know when, my working life will come to maybe not an end, but at least be less and less. So therefore, I'm at a crossroad right now. I have absolutely no idea where to go. I look at different things. I think, would that be fun to do? No. Would that be fun to do? No. So I can't really find my way out. And this pandemic, where you sit in your flat by yourself and talk to the dog year after year, doesn't help either. I'm so glad that Zoom is there so you can talk to your clients via Zoom. But I really need to find a new way.
Beautiful. Well, I suggest you team up with Katri then. And the 2 of you go and find your purpose a little bit together. And yeah, definitely we'll be talking about purpose and vision. So the other thing I already wrote down when Katri spoke is really speaking more about creating your own vision. And your vision usually comes from what gives you joy, right? And finding that can be really easy. But sometimes there are also a lot of limiting beliefs associated with that in terms of, yeah, I would love to do that, but this and that and that and that. I'll give you an example. I, for the longest time, had this vision to work and make money with my horses because of all the limiting beliefs I got from my family, I had a really hard time realizing that because I always thought, well, that you can never make any money with horses. And it turned out that that was not true, but it was always a desire that I had. And it was always like, what gives you most joy what gave me most joy in my life was working with the horses, breeding the horses, spending time with the horses. But I always had this belief that I can't make any money with it. So I thought, oh, it's not my purpose and it cannot be my passion. It's only ever going to be a hobby. And I completely shifted that. So that's where I want to challenge you and Katri specifically to look into what brings joy into your life and see if it's related to having a limiting belief there around like, oh, I can't make any money with that. Or is it really something where you say, actually, I don't enjoy this at all. Okay. So this is where, what brings you joy, what excites you. These are the kind of things that I want you guys to look for. All right. Thank you so much for sharing. Bea.
Hi. Hi, Nadia. Hi, all of you guys. Thank you so much for giving me the space to listen first and then and to think about all my answers. Yes, so I'm Bea. I'm coming actually from Vienna. Right now I'm in Bad Gastein. I don't know if any of you knows this place. It's a mountain skiing resort where we have our little holiday home. And so we do a lot of skiing here, and they have these beautiful hot springs. And yeah, we chillax a little bit here when there is good snow, which is at the moment. What I do for my profession is also, I think, one of the most, I think this is also a very unusual thing, because I'm I'm a CEO for a property management company, but for a family office, but also I do a lot of spiritual coaching work. And these two things, for me, it's always completely like it's so different, because there is this one path that is like really structured business plans, budgeting, and really I don't know, this economical setting, and then there is this really highly energetic work where I have a lot of I don't know, it sounds so big, but it's a kind of a wisdom where I feel things or see things, or where I have a deep connection. And that's why I also have this coaching business next to it. I started with eating disorders, but I also have a lot of clients with business topics or with belief systems. And it got more and more, and it's very interesting, because I can see things like when somebody is sitting in front of me. I sometimes have this intuition, or this, it's more like it's not a power, something. The universe gives me some information about the other person that I for sure,
channeling. It's channeling.
Yeah, which I cannot know. Which is very helpful in this coaching thing. But I have the feeling, and this is also when I was listening to you guys, and I was thinking, okay, why am I here? It's really helpful to have it with strangers, but I have a very difficulty keeping up with private relationships or friends because of this. And also because it's sometimes so confusing for me, because then there is this friend sitting in front of me, and I really have to stop myself to fall into this coaching process, or into this getting all this information about this person, or coming because I don't want that anybody thinks I'm too, I'm the, what is it, besserwisser, like Nadia, this
know it all. It's called it's called know it all in English.
Yeah. So yeah, and also then my friends ask me to do some coachings, which I also love to do, but then I have really difficulties to find back to a friendship, or where is friendship, where is the coaching areas. Yeah. And yeah, I lost one of my friends this year, which I'm very sad about. Actually, it was two within the last 2 years, through this coaching mechanism that started to happen. you know, because we were like together, we were friends for like 16 years, almost from school. Yeah. And then what happened was that I gave her a few coaching sessions because she asked me for, but then she asked me to, she had like a drama going on, and she called me and she said, you need to be there now. You need to come now and give me some coaching thing. But I was busy, I couldn't do it. And this was also a period where I had to really look for myself, because I can only give something when I'm really taking care of myself. Whenever I'm losing my connection to myself, I'm out of it. I can't do it anymore. I don't know why. And yeah, so I didn't have the time, and she was so angry, and she said I put money first and other things. But yeah, it was really because I couldn't react, yeah, like immediately helping. So yeah, but it's friendship is really something that is a big topic for me.
Okay.
Because and Nadia, because you said in the beginning, yeah, the homeworks, yeah, you said it's a lot about gratitude, feeling good, and look for beauty, yeah, which I really liked. And I also try these days to work a lot with abundance, like,
yes.
yeah, the appreciation and being grateful for the abundance which is in my life. And I feel it in so many areas. But in this connecting to people in a very childish way, let's put it like that, is something that's really hard for me. Yeah. Because I don't feel yet, if I'm like the CEO, it's very easy. Yeah. I'm the one who says, okay, this is the thing you have to do. You're the employee. If you're in this coaching thing, it's also maybe easier because I feel it, or I have this intuition. But then, yeah, who am I in friendships?
Okay. You said something that was very powerful before, and that is the connection to yourself. And that if the connection to yourself is strong, then you are very much able to deal well with friendships. And the other thing is setting boundaries.
Yeah.
So that could be an interesting one. What we will do in these 21 days is definitely looking for connection to yourself, because that's something that we do a lot with the energy games and shifting energy and all of these things. I'm not sure I'm going to cover the topic of boundary, but I might. I wrote it down. I might cover the topic of boundaries also. But I think that's a beautiful intention to set for yourself. So the next exercise is actually going to be to choose a topic, and all of you have actually already told me your topic through why you're here. And I think, Bea, for you, the topic is going to be friendship. So just because for 21 days, it's most powerful if you choose one topic that you're going to work on as an intention topic for those 21 days. Because if we focus on too many things, it's going to get a bit messy. So that's why choosing one topic is extremely powerful. And most of you have told me yours. So Christina, for you, it's going to be confidence. Katri and Gunil, for you, it's going to be purpose and vision. That falls for me into one category. Heather, for you, it's going to be relationship. Charlotte, for you, it's going to be energy and manifesting. Okay. Bea, are you good with friendship, or you want another topic? Or is there anything else you wanted to share? The unusual thing for you definitely is the channeling, unless you want to share something else that is unusual about you.
It feels somehow right, but there is something that is not matching.
The friendship thing, you mean? Using that as an intention?
I think maybe to put it a little bit in a broader perspective, yeah, like to have the connection with people.
Yeah.
Because, yeah.
Deeper connection with people, maybe.
yeah, it's deeper connection, but then again, boundaries maybe.
Mhm. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it could be to get a clear picture for that. So to get a clear picture of what the friendship and these deeper connections should look like.
Yeah.
That
And
should
the
be.
feeling, yeah, and also the feeling to be light when you're around people. Like, I mean, you know, with some people, it's very hard to be, I mean, like energetically.
Yeah, that's something we are going to cover. It's called the Teflon theory. It's how to disconnect energetically from other people and not like when you know, we all have some of these friends where you sit down and it feels like you have a plug somewhere that they just plug in and then take all of your energy. And that's
Oh,
something
yes.
that we want to cut and stop. Okay, so
Okay.
that you don't go into this trap of how can you protect yourself from that and really stay with yourself, because that is when exactly the circle happens of you feel depleted all the time. You have no time to fill up your own cup. And then people keep asking, you keep giving. And then you get into this mode where like, I just can't anymore. And then your friend calls and says, I have an emergency. You say, I can't, there's no way. My energy is, my battery is 0. I cannot even walk. So this is what we need to look out for. And this is where this Teflon energy comes in. And it's going to be one of the things we're going to talk about in one of the exercises. Okay. Does that feel better for you? The energy?
Yes.
Okay.
Mhm.
All
Yeah.
right. Good. Okay. So are there any questions or anything left? Because then we will move on to the next exercise.
I have a question.
Yes.
Yeah. So we're setting intentions, right? We're not setting goals, we're setting intentions.
I will get to that right now. What
Okay,
is the
very
difference
good.
between intentions and goals?
Very good. I'm leading you into this.
Absolutely. It's the next, it's actually really the next point. Difference between goals and intentions. Okay. All right. So I want to explain, when it comes to setting intentions, I want to explain 2 different things. The first one is the difference between goals and intentions. And the second thing is to categorize our intentions. And I'm going to explain first the difference between goal and intention. Then we're going to do a quick exercise, and then I'm going to go into the categories. So the first thing is, a goal is something very particular. So we're used, I think all of you, as far, Christina, I'm not sure, but everybody else has been at some point in their life in some kind of corporate setting. And the thing is that we all learn to set SMART goals, right? So they need to be specific, measurable, actionable, relatable, and timely. And that has been ingrained in our heads in a way that we're like, our goals need to be SMART all the time. They need to be like, we need to tick a box somewhere that says, okay, yes, I achieved that goal. And we also learned to be really good kids. And when we ticked all of our boxes, then we're really good kids. And then we did our homework and the world is good. And we get our cookie or we get our smiley in our little booklet or whatever it is. Now, the difference is that when we speak about energy is not that measurable in terms of a goal. And why I prefer to set intention. An intention is something where it can be anything. An intention can be a desire, it can be a memory, it can be something that fills you with joy. It can be like, for example, an intention is, I want to find the love of my life. It can't be a goal, because otherwise you need to put SMART goal behind it. It's like, okay, so specific is going to be, he's going to be this size, look like this, da 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 da. And that is why, and I love taking the relationship example for this, because when we set a goal to find a partner, it's really hard because, yeah, I mean, how are you going to set that? And then when are you going to find him? Well, he needs to be here within the next month. Okay, well, good luck with that. It needs to be what is the R? Reasonable, I think it was. Reachable, right? Reachable, reasonable. How is it going to be that? How is it going to be specific? Okay, I want them to have these and those and that features and make this much money and have that many kids and I don't know what. Actionable, you know, all of these things. It cannot be a goal, but it can be an intention to say, I want to find the love of my life. The same thing goes, for example, for making memories or emotions. I want to feel more joy in my life. That's an intention, but I can't make that goal. I want to have more joy in my life is like, okay, every day in the morning, I'm going to wake up and tick the box for joy. It doesn't work that way. So that is why I call this intention setting and not goal setting, because I want to reframe you from doing too specific goals. Another one, for example, is money. A lot of times we say, okay, I want to make this much money in our business. And then we get annoyed and angry if we don't reach that goal. But if we set the intention and we say, oh my God, wouldn't it be amazing if I could make 200,000 with my business this year, 300,000, 400,000, whatever it is. And then when you hit that target, you're like, oh my God, it actually happened because you set the intention for it. But that doesn't, the big difference is that between goals and intentions is we eliminate the how. So the how we take out of the equation and we let the universe deal with the how. And this, by the way, is one of the things where people get most confused in terms of manifestation, is they get so caught up with the how are things going to happen. How am I going to do this? How am I going to get more clients? How am I going to get my partner? How? Like the how is a taboo word for me, because on some things, yes, strategically, how is very important. But when it comes to intentions and energy, how is the most dangerous word that we can use. So for the purpose of these 21 days, I want you to eliminate the word how out of your vocabulary and just go with the flow, go with the energy, go with the intention, go with the manifestation to see what happens and be open to the how. Okay, yes, question.
Yes, I think that is a really good thing, because I think it's so spot on why I got lost. Because I just do the tick box, how. And I've lived all my life with goals in everything. So then when I took the plug out and then then I'm lost, because I don't have the boxes to tick.
Exactly.
So it's really, really good, because always it's what and how. So I just love this, because this is the road I'm at now, but it's really good to have a push, a kick in my ass to believe in it.
Great.
and get because it's a fear and you're lost because you're doing the how all your life, and you're raised with the how, so you can't just go with your intention. It's how. So it's really
hard
control.
because we've been trained this way, and it's fear of losing
Exactly.
control, right? So let me give you a really good example. So I just recently, so I'm from Austria. I just recently moved to Belgium. I'm going to really shortcut this because the big story is a lot bigger. But it's really about, like, I manifested my current relationship with my partner. We've known each other for 20 years. We met in Mauritius when we were teenagers, and we fell back in love last year. He's from Belgium, I'm from Austria, and I now moved to Belgium. The thing was that when we met, there were so many how questions that I couldn't even deal with them. And I couldn't deal with them in any specific order because they had no rational sense. There were so many. And so I was like, okay, like there is no rational way of dealing with this. So I need to trust the universe because I just don't have any other choice. So what I did was, and this is one of the things we're going to do, is we're going to do what I call the domino stone exercise. So that means we put all the things that we want to have and we put it in the universe, and then we wait for it to be presented in the right order. And this is something that I did in terms of manifesting for this, but I completely let go of the how. In this case, it was easy because there were so many things that I said, okay, it's impossible. So I have to let go. I don't have any other choice. Sometimes it's really hard because our brain is telling us you need to know the how. And I just had this, or I spoke about this with a couple of friends of mine as well, because we're just looking for a house here actually, because I want to have my horses with me. So we're looking for a house where I can have the horses as well. And the funny thing is that there are two completely different approaches between my partner and my approach, because my approach is I manifest it and I see what the universe gives me. And I'm like, okay, I'm excited. I visualize it. I think about it. I tickle the energy. I do all these things that I'm going to teach you guys as well. And my partner's approach is, okay, first we need to go to the bank. We need to ask the bank how much loan we could get, because that's the rational way of doing things. So it's completely like I do it this way and he does it that way. So it's completely opposite energies and completely opposite ways. Now, that's the thing where you have to choose, am I going to choose this route or that route? But for this exercise of what we're doing right now, eliminating the how is so important. And that's why it's really good to practice it and just be fun in the energy for 21 days, because then you're like, okay, I'll try it for 21 days. If it doesn't work, you can go back to your how afterwards if you want to. Okay, so this is something.
The funny thing that I did this once, the last time I had a job, I was between something, and then and just I let it go, and I have the freely I think that okay, the universe will give me if I just sit in the sofa and let it come, and not strive to get it come. Just have the patience to wait, and that led to the best thing I have done. So I practiced a little bit, but then I want to do it all the time, so get the tools to do it in a larger way, not just now and then go back to pum 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 again. But it's easier because the tick box and the how and why is the majority of my life. So of course I'm a new beginner on the other with the intentions. So
yes, exactly. But that's really good. And you're gonna enjoy setting the intentions. It's gonna be so much fun, because when we're used to, at the beginning it's a bit scary because we're like, yeah, but it's not specific enough. Like, how can you, I used to set, for example, goals for how much income I want to make during a year, and then set up specifically the plan behind it. And now I just set the intention, and somehow magically, freakishly, it happens. Like this year, I set the example, wouldn't it be amazing if I could make 6 figures with just my horse breeding business? And magically I did. And I had no plan. It was just, wouldn't it be cool if I could do that? And I just set the intention. And of course, it's not like I leaned back on my sofa and did nothing. No. I continued, doing branding. I continued doing my connections and contacts and all kinds of things. But it wasn't like I had, okay, so by April, I need to have made this, and then by this, and then this much money is going to come from that. And like, no, it didn't work that way. But I did do a lot of learnings energetically in order to move that along. And it's just, all I did this year was shift my energy. And last year, I made, I think it was something close to 20,000 with the breeding of the horses. And this year it's 100K. So it's something more than 100K. And this is something where the only thing that changed, thank you, Bea. the only thing that shifted was my energy.
Your energy else. And
just the energy. I didn't shift my strategy. I didn't do anything different in any other way. The only thing that shifted was my energy. And I got rid of the how. I just intuitively did what felt good and completely shifted the energy. So these are the things that we're going to practice over the next couple of days. And I'm just giving you this as an example because that business for me is a hobby. It's not my main business. It's just a hobby where I was like, wouldn't it be cool if I could make a lot of money with my hobby as well? And how I told you before, I had a lot of limiting beliefs that I dealt with for years. And Bea was actually one of the ones that helped me through her coaching to let go of them because they were locked so deep I couldn't even get there. So that was really, really, really interesting. And these are the kind of things that we're going to go through in this workshop over the next 21 days. All right. So what I would like you to do as an exercise is right now, I'm going to give you 5 minutes. and I would like you to write down your biggest desires. So any desires you have. A new house, a new car, going on a trip, a partner, it doesn't matter, whatever it is, and just write them down, as many as you can in
And
5
what is the
minutes.
time frame?
5 minutes.
No, I mean, like, you know, my desires for the next months or years or.
Doesn't matter, whatever. Doesn't
Okay.
matter. Anything that comes into your head. Doesn't matter if it's now, 10 years. If you say, for example, I want to have, I guess for us, our age, I want to have kids or no kids, you know, like all these things. Like what is it? One more thing. What I'm going to do is I'm going to give you guys 5 minutes to do this. And I'm also going to give you a 5-minute break because I just looked at the time and we're already 1 hour, 15 minutes in. So it's about half time. So I'm going to give you 10 minutes. What you do with those 10 minutes, if you're going to write down your desires all the time, if you want to take a pee break, coffee break, water break, but I'm going to give you 10 minutes. So at 25 past, we're going to start again, okay? Whichever way you want to put that. Okay, it is 25 past. Is everybody back or slowly but surely back? All right, I'm just gonna check your cameras if you're coming back or back. Charlotte's here, Katri's here, Bea's here. Awesome. Gunnel is here. Okie dokie. And Heather is here. Awesome. Great. Oh my God, you ladies are so on time. I love it. Amazing. Okay. So what I would like you to do is to look at your desires that you wrote down. And I would like you to, I'm sorry, figure out when you look at them, how many are something that you would like to have? I'd like you to count. How many are something that you would like to have? So they're a physical object, like a car, a phone, computer, a horse. Christina, I'm speaking to you. A house, for example, as it is in my case, also physical object.
I, for example, I wrote down, I would
Mhm.
like to have a beautiful home as we're
Mhm.
looking for a new apartment
Mhm.
or house, I don't know.
Mhm.
It's not so, I don't see the object yet. You know what I mean? It's more a feeling I want to
Mhm.
have in this object.
Okay.
Is it then really an object or a feeling?
That's a really good point, because that actually brings me, I'll answer that in a question, because you're already proving my point.
Okay.
So how many of you have put things that you would like to have? Does anybody put just hands up? Have you put things that you would like to have? No?
No,
Yes. Okay. No, yes, yes.
I think I'm going to put all the things I don't want to have. In there. All the things I need to get rid of.
That's another exercise. Okay, so now I would like you to look at how many of those things are experiences. So things you would like to experience, like a vacation or something you would like to do. Anybody have any experiences? Yeah, great. All right. Any of them related to family or relationship? Okay, awesome, very good. And any of the things are things that you want to call into your life, so that are like big things. Okay, very good. All right, so now that we have so Bea, you pointed out something really important, and that is we can list experiences, and we can like list things that we want to have. We can list things the way we want them to be. But the most important thing about setting intentions is that we need to associate a feeling to it.
Yeah.
Because the only way that the universe starts to manifest the things is when we set a feeling to it. So that's why Christina wrote, my desire is Reina. Yeah, that's one of my horses. And that's already on the way. But the thing is, when you're excited and you have this energy around something, so for example, I wrote down as one of my desires, as I said before, so the thing to have is I desire to have a horse house, but the feeling that is attached to it are several. So the first thing is I want it to be a place of transformation, because I don't only breed the horses, but I also use them for coaching. So for me, this house is more than just like a physical object where I also tend to have my horses and I also tend to live. It's about this feeling of this house is going to be a place of transformation, of energy, of welcoming, of excitement, of joy, of pleasure. It's going to be a place of good vibes and good energy for me, for the coaching, but also for the horses, because for the breeding, the good energy is really important. Otherwise, the mares don't get pregnant and all the things. So that's why for me, it's it is associated, it touches so many points. It's not only something I want to have, but it's also something that I want to feel. And it's also an experience I want to have, and I want to have for my clients as well. So it touches several points. And that is what makes the intention more powerful, is instead of just writing horse house, I make it bigger, and I give it more energy, and I give it more description, and I give it more. So Bea, I really liked what you said, that I'm not attached to an object. Like I don't say the apartment needs to have this many square meters or look like this or that or whatever, but it's more of the way I want to feel in this apartment, the way I imagine my relationship to unfold in this apartment, the way I imagine that potentially for you, like it is for me, I'm going to work in that as well. Right? Like, am I going to work in that, or is it going to be strictly for me privately? Right? The next thing, like one of the things I wrote down, for example, is a global scaling of my horse coaching business in order to reach and be able to transform more people. So, and you can see that for me, it's not only ticking the boxes, but the second thing about, and putting an energy behind it, the second thing about it is that I make it into something that is bigger than me. So all of these intentions are never pure ego targets or never pure ego intentions, but they are things that they have a bigger plan and a bigger vision behind it. And that makes them so much more powerful than just to write, I want to have a bigger car. Or I want to have a global impact. I want to have a global impact because I see that this work that I do with the horses and teaching people manifesting and teaching people about their energy is so powerful, and it does so much with people. And I want to be able to transform more lives, but I can only do that if I take this business global. So that is and find a way to scale it globally, because I myself, I'm not going to be able to do it. That I'm too little of a, I'm only me, and I only have 24 hours in the day, right? So that is one of my intentions. Now notice I'm not attached to the how. I'm not writing down by I leave that up to the universe to bring me ideas or to show up at some point. And some things have already shown up. People that are supporting me in bringing this vision to life have already shown up. So I'd like you to look at your desires again and pick your top 3 right now. Top 3, the ones that touch you most. Typically it's the first 3 because they're the ones that are on top of your mind the most.
Sorry.
Yes. Yeah.
I lost my Wi-Fi, so can you just go back if you said something important the last 2 minutes, because I missed that. It got stuck.
Okay, so
Is
the
that-
important thing is, I want you to look at your 3 desires, okay, right now, to pick your desire, to pick the top 3 of your desires. Typically it's the first 3 because those are the ones that are first there. They're your biggest dreams and your biggest wishes and your biggest desires. And I want you to look at how can you make them more into that they touch different points. So it's not only something you want to have, but it's something that makes you feel something, and it's something that has a bigger vision and a bigger purpose that doesn't serve only you, but ideally serves more people, or serves your family, for example, or animals, for example. But it's not something, it shouldn't be an ego target of like, I want more handbags or more shoes or a bigger car. Okay, so I'd like you to look at those 3 and change them into something that you can have that is more.
Can you make it like a clear, just an example? Make
The
them
clear
more
example is, so like I said, I think this is what you missed also when your Wi-Fi didn't work. So for example, I could say I want a horse house, and I could say the ego version of it is because I simply, I just want a big house, right? And I want to live with my horses. That would be the ego version of it. But the bigger version of it is the way it's going to make me feel, because I'm excited to have the horses with me and to use this house as a place where transformation happens for my clients and the people that I work with, but also transformation happens for the horses. So that is one, attaching a feeling to it and an emotion to it, and two, making it something bigger than myself.
You want us to do that now?
Yeah, I want you to try to do that now with pick your top 3 is what I would like you to do. And if you can, I'm going to give you 3 more minutes to have a look at what you can come up. If you don't finish, it's not a big deal. You can still finalize it later. So it's not a big deal.
I can't get it right, really. I mean, the first ones I have, their health is just all of them. And I've split it. Let's say number 2 and number 3 and a few of the others are split into small things connected to health. But what you want me to do is to put it in a bigger context, or what?
So if, for example, one of your desires, can you name me one of them? What is your one desire?
I would like to have a weight that is healthy for me.
Okay. So for example, you could reframe that to say, I want to feel healthy. I want to feel amazing in my body. I want to feel energetic and free.
Yeah, because then if I write it like that, then 5 of them disappears.
Perfect.
Into yeah, okay.
Perfect.
And also, may I say something to it? Because I am the specialist coaching in this eating topics, and it's always very important to focus on how you want to feel when you have this certain weight. Like, what would you do? How would you act? Whom would you meet? How would you approach yourself? How would you touch yourself when you're in the shower? How would you dress?
Okay.
Good point. Love that. Thank you. Good point. Okay.
So
Any
what you
other?
do is to describe it as a small story. Is that what you do here?
You can describe it as long or as short as you want. The point is, it needs to be something that is a target that touches you emotionally and gets you excited. And the second one is that it shouldn't be related to the ego, to ego targets. Now, health is never an ego target. Okay, so it already isn't. But you can say, but what you could add, for example, is you can be the living example for some people in your community or the people that surround you or whatever it is. It can be a bigger target in that way, that you can say, well, if I get healthy, then I'm also going to impact my friends, my family, your dog potentially, right? Like if you say, I'm going to go running every day for an hour, your dog is also going to be impacted. Okay. All right. Heather, do you have a question? Because you're just popping up in my window.
Oh, no, I'm just listening. I've completed my 3 desires and
Perfect.
my little thingy-bob.
Perfect. Good. Good. All right. Let me go back to my exercises. Okay. So 3 minutes are done. Everybody have their things.
I'm trying to understand. So I must be a little dumb today or slow or whatever. It's actually, you should connect the feeling to it, how you want to feel when you, I have a goal, how I want to look, or, the way I want to feel about myself.
Mhm.
And how do I then, is it like connecting how it affects other people, or?
Exactly how it affects other people, but also how does it affect you? Like what is the emotion that is attached to it, like excitement, for example.
Mm-hmm. Okay, good.
Yeah. All right, I'm just gonna read Christina's. I want to be able to provide more for my family. I've just extended my family with a girl in her 20s who's having a hard time in her life. I also help her through my horses. That's beautiful. That's a very beautiful desire. Very good. Very good. I like that a lot. Perfect. Okay, so now Am I robot-y, or is it just maybe it's just, Charlotte, I'm gonna mute you. I have a feeling it could be, that could help. Okay, now, yes, okay, good, that works. Can everybody hear me clearly? Okay, good. All right, so what I want you to do now is to pick one of the desires that you just wrote down. My feeling is that probably it's going to stick with, it's going to be connected to the desires we spoke about before, but to pick one that you're going to focus on for those 21 days. So pick your priority. The other ones, so this is going to be one of your homeworks, is going to be to finish this desires list, like to complete it, because that is going to be what is going to be setting your intentions for 2022, right? But for the 21 days, I want you to pick a top one that you really want to dedicate yourself and that you're going to apply the exercises to that we're going to do. So for example, like we said, gratitude, beauty, and feeling good. So like Gunnar, in your case, it's going to be, I'm grateful for having eaten healthy today. I'm grateful for different things, right, that are related to your health. I'm great. Then in terms of beauty, you're going to look for things that have to do with health, right? And in terms of feeling good, you're also going to look for things that are associated to health. If you are, for example, looking at the purpose topic, it's going to be more looking for things you're grateful for in terms of your purpose. That doesn't mean that it's going to be only this, but it means you're going to put more focus on it. And also the exercises I'm going to give you for the 21 days, they're going to be focused more on that category, because this is something that you want to manifest and where you want to focus your energy on. Okay. Does that make sense for everyone? Okay, beautiful.
So I have questions all the time.
Yeah.
That's
Sure.
why we're here. So you want us to pick one of these, or
I
or
want
to
you
work on
I
for
want you
21 days, or
Exactly.
3?
I wanted to pick one. I wanted you to choose 3. That was as an exercise now in order to understand how to reformulate it into an intention that is attached to emotion and that is attached with a vision, a non-ego vision. Okay. So that's why I asked you to do 3. For the 21 days, I want you to pick one that you're going to focus on. If you, in those 21 days, have the feeling that, okay, I'm actually like this already manifested, or I'm actually already super happy, then you can drop back to the other 2 and switch to that one if you like. Okay. It's optional. It's up to you. That's why I like to do 3 is one is first of all, because it shows you how it works in order for you to do all of the other ones. And in order to set the intentions for 2022, because remember, between today and the 1st of January, you're going to work on this in a bigger context of putting together all these things for the whole year. Okay. All right. So the next thing that we're going to do is so now that we set some intentions, I want to explain something where we put it into categories. And the way that we do that is it depends on how certain we are that we're going to be able to fulfill this desire and to call it in. So the first category is the predictable category. So predictable means I'm 100% certain it's going to happen because I've already done it before. Like, for example, if one of your desires is to lose 2 kilos, for example, and you've already done it a couple of times, it's going to be very simple to do it again, right? It's a predictable thing. You know, you've already done it. You know how to do it. You're going to be able to do it again. It's a predictable target. If you have already, if you're an entrepreneur and you have consistent 5K months, for example, or 10K months, then it's going to be pretty predictable that you're going to continue making that kind of money in the next couple of months. This is the predictability category. It's the most simple one when it comes to energy. Then the next category is the possible category. The possible category is a 50-50 category. So that means 50% yes, 50% no. So it is possible that it can happen, but it might also not happen. And the third category is what we call the potential category. The potential category is, oh my God, it would be absolutely amazing and extraordinary and awesome, but I have no freaking idea how I'm going to do that. Like I've never done it before. It would be blowing my mind, but it is so far away that I don't even know where to start. And the relationship to it is the how again, right? So the more how we have, the more it is predictable. So if we have if we know how to do it, it's very predictable. If we, well, kind of think we might be able to, it's kind of possible. We don't really know how, but we could figure it out, or we could manifest it potentially. It's not that far away. It's in the possible category. And if it is, we have no freaking idea how to do it, but it would be absolutely amazing if it would happen, it's in the potentiality category. Okay. The reason why this is important is because we want to have desires and set intentions that are in all, that we want to have some in the predictability category, some in the possibility category, and some in the potentiality category. I'll give you an example of predictable, possible, and potential from my life. So predictable for my life was that once wait a second, let me think of an example for a second. I'll start with the potentiality. So when I moved to this country, or in terms of business, when I moved to this country, to Belgium just a couple of months ago, I had to put my business of coming here and setting up my business into the potentiality category. Why? Because I didn't know any people here and I'm starting completely from scratch. So setting up the horse coaching here is completely in the potentiality category because I don't know anything and I don't know any hows. There is no how for me here, which at the same time was pretty exciting because the potentiality category is one that I haven't played a lot with yet, but was something that I really wanted to experience. In the possible category is the horse house for me, because I don't know exactly where it's going to be. I don't know exactly how we're going to buy it, who's going to invest what, how the thing is going to work out with the loans and all the things, like all of those things, the hows, I haven't figured them out yet. But I know it is very possible that we're going to find our dream house, which is going to be the perfect location for me, the horses, my clients, and all the things. That is the possible category. The predictable category is I have done, let's see, what is the predictable? Interestingly enough, the predictable category is the easiest for other people, but it's the most difficult to explain for me. Predictable category is, for example, I have done several courses. Like, for example, I'm going to do a retreat in Portugal in May with the horses. And predictable for me is it's going to be full pretty quickly. That is predictable for me because the last things I did with the horses were pretty full quickly as well. So that for me is predictable. Okay, so these are to explain the three different categories. And what I would like you to do is to have a nice mix. So when you're setting your intentions, I would like you to have a nice mix of the three and to identify which ones are predictable, which ones are possible, and which ones are potential. Now, once you've done that, we start having a little bit of fun with it. Start having a little bit of fun with it. And the way we do that is that we start visualizing it. Now, who here is into or doing meditations? Just hands up. Okay, Charlotte, Gunnar, Heather, Bea. Okay, everybody. Okay. Anybody is into more visualizing, like doing boards, mood boards, more of like the visual side of it? Okay, nobody. Good. Nobody likes creating mood boards. Okay,
So
so
what was your question again, Nadia?
if you like to visualize things like creating mood boards, creating like cutting out magazines, putting together, like for example, if you want to visualize something that you would like to call into your life.
I've done that at times
You've
in
done that at times.
specific
Okay.
areas. Yes, absolutely.
Did it help you? Was it powerful for you?
Yeah, well, the specific one I can sort of recall now is when I was going to redecorate a bathroom. So
That's what I was going to say, that I've done it when I've done the decoration and renovation of my home,
yeah,
but it's really interesting. I haven't done it for myself. So
Yes.
it's a new one to do.
Okay.
but then also the question is, because I visualize, I am a sort of picture vision person, sort of, so I visualize things, but perhaps I don't do it physically.
Yeah.
That's just in my mind.
So
Yeah, in my head. Yeah.
what I would like you to do is to start creating a visual of this, what this is going to look like. Okay. So your year 2022, to pick different things. And I want you to add one, not category, but one thing, and that is memories. So there are things that we desire, but there's also the part of making memories. And making memories is one of the most powerful things that we can do. Like, for example, for me, one of the memories I want to make next year is, as I told you, my partner and I, we met in Mauritius. And one of the memories I want to make is I want to go back to Mauritius. Now, I don't know if it's going to happen or not because of Corona, because of a gazillion other things, but that's one of the intentions that I'm setting for next year, is I want to make that memory. Another memory could be that you say you want to do something specific with your kids. You want to go on, like, I don't know, you want to play a game. For example, another memory I want to make is something with my dad. So that's really important for me, is like to take my dad on a vacation. I don't know what exactly the vacation is going to look like, but I want to take my dad on a vacation because he's sick and I don't know how long he's still going to be around. So that was one of the memories I want to make next year. Right? But it's not necessarily a desire. You see what I mean? So there's a difference between it's something that I desire and making memories. But memories are really important because it lights our mood. It can be something as simple as I want to make the memory of baking cookies with my grandkids for Christmas. It can be super simple. It doesn't have to be fancy or expensive or whatever. I want to have a romantic dinner with my husband. I want to lie on the meadow in the summer and watch the stars with my partner. Like, all kinds of things can be memories that you want to make that have nothing to do with money or desires. Okay, but it's a really important part of intention setting. And I would like you to visualize all of these things. So visualization you can do through different things. One way is to do it the traditional way, buy a bunch of magazines, cut out things, or look for things in the internet, print them out, and actually create a physical board. This is something that I used to do a lot. Now what I do is I use an Instagram planner. So that's kind of the fast way to do it on your phone. Do all of you have Instagram? Yes. So I'm just looking. Gunnel, do you have Instagram? Heather, do you have Instagram?
I have it, but I'm not the least active there. I don't use it.
That doesn't matter.
No.
You don't need to be active there at all. So there are two platforms that are really useful in terms of searching for pictures. One is Pinterest and the other one is Instagram. And what you can do is you like, for example, let's say you desire, like for me, I started creating a mood board for the horse house, right? So I started looking at searching on Pinterest for stables. So beautiful, I can't remember what I looked for. I think I looked for premium farms or something like that. And then came pictures of like these stables with these chandeliers in it. I don't know why, but somehow I'm obsessed with this idea of having a stable with this nice chandelier in it. So I have screenshots of those stables with the chandeliers and the beautiful barns, and it has this beautiful energy, and it's made out of wood, and it's with wood combined with these black thingies, and then you've got the golden knobs on the side. It's really kitschy. I don't care. I think it looks awesome. So these are the kind of ways that you visualize it. Is you can look for hashtags and you can look for keywords on both Instagram and Pinterest. You screenshot it, and then you can either print it from your computer, if you want to create a real one, like a live vision board, or there are a couple of apps you can use in your phone if you rather want to do that. Let me just find the app. It's a free one. It's called Preview. It's called Preview. And where is it? It's like I'm not sure if I can show it to you. Can you see it? It's this one. Oopsie. Nope. So it's this one. It's called Preview, and it's like grid in different colors. Okay, so you can, I'll put the link to it in the group, okay, so you can find it. So that is something you can use where you can screenshot things and then play around with it in the app. I think it's nice, but the real thing, the visual thing, of course, is much more impactful, and it's more creative, and there's more motion involved in, because you're cutting things out and you're sticking it and you're thinking of where to stick it and all the things. So it's a bit more emotional and a bit more real than doing it just online. But it's completely up to you how you want to do it. And the way you want to do it. If you, Christina also says she wants to have a nice chandelier in her stable. That's great. So it's completely up to you how you want to do it. If you want to add words, emotions, or just pictures, or it doesn't really matter. The main thing is that you want to look at this and it needs to light you up on fire. You need to be like, yes, can't wait for that year to get started. I can't wait to go to that retreat location in Mauritius. I can't wait to start with yoga. I can't wait to fit into my old jeans. I can't wait to, all of these things. Like, you can put pictures of yourself on there. Like I put one where I had my pre-corona weight, where I was still fitting into my super sexy jeans. I put that up there. So that's something you can put, like all these things that you desire and memories. These are things that you want to put up there. So memories that you want to create, and desires and intentions that you want to have. Okay. All right. Any questions so far? Yes.
Yeah, I think it's just interesting because I have a load of these things for my home. I've done so big renovations, and the Pinterest is stack, and I think I have 800 places that I connected with on Instagram to have inspiration, but I have never done this mood board for myself. So yeah. This is really, really something. Why haven't I done that? It's interesting.
Most people haven't. Most people are aware of it, but they haven't done it. I, for example, I have a mood board for horses, like different kinds of horses that I think are inspiring and nice and beautiful. And the funny thing is that of that mood board, I set the intention to start a breeding program with the most beautiful Black Arabian horses. And of that mood board, I set, for example, the intention that even if these particular horses don't belong to me, but my intention was to have the owners of these horses breed to my stallion, for example. And this happened a lot. So that was really interesting for me to see that how powerful this visualization was, because I was like, wouldn't it be amazing if my stallion bred to some of these mares that I think are the most beautiful mares in the world? And 2 years later, they signed the contract, I'm like, really, did this just happen? Like, did this sheikh just buy breedings of my stallion? Like, that's insane. So that's why it is such a powerful tool to visualize. However, I know that a lot of people typically are very good in terms of doing meditations or visualization. I'm more a visualization person. I find it really hard to meditate and to focus whilst meditating. For me, it's really hard. I need to write things down and I need to visualize things. So once I have it in my book and I put some pictures, like a mood thing behind it, I find it much easier to call it in. Whereas if I just meditate, it doesn't do it for me. I'm not a meditation person. For some people, it works amazingly.
The
So you have to-
interesting thing is that I have a lot of pictures in my phone. I think I have 20,000 pictures in my phone. And I have places that I love to be, or situations or people, or when I were in a special situation, I was feeling like $1 million baby. When I'm looking at these pictures, I always get the energy. So it's so true that you said that when you're looking at these pictures, then you remember how you felt.
Exactly.
So it's really good to connect or have a lot of these pictures in the same place.
Absolutely.
And have that as a goal to get there again.
Exactly, right? So that is why you want to feel like $1 million. That's why, for example, I differentiate between ego targets and feeling like $1 million. So one of my desires would never be another pair of shoes, but I would put a picture of me in a specific pair of shoes on the vision board because I remember the feeling and the way I felt, but it's not like, okay, I need an additional pair of Louboutins, right? So it's always about the energy that is associated to it and how it makes you feel.
Exactly.
Right? If it's a good desire and a good target and a good intention or not, right? Okay, any other comments or questions? But that was really great insight. Thank you, Katri. All right. Questions? No?
Yes.
Yes. I was seeing you, Charlotte. You put your thing in your mouth, so I could tell you're unmuting. Yes. Yes, go for it.
That's true. That's true. I forgot my extra camera up at my summer house, so I'm using the computer one, which makes me look not the way my intention is to look 2022, but it will get better. No, you said it's more on based on how does it make me feel, but then you had something else. How does it make me feel? It's one of the how, like you talked about how to feel like $1 million. It's not about getting another pair of shoes, but it is how does it make me feel? And there was something else that I wanted.
So what I said was that the point is you want to have a vision board that makes you feel in a certain way.
Yeah.
And I brought the example for the shoes because I said shoes can be an ego target. Like women typically can say, oh, one of my ego targets is I want to have more shoes and I want to have more handbags, right? Mm-hmm. And the difference between setting it as an ego target and making you feel good is that if you put a picture of yourself wearing a particular kind of shoes, or because of the energy that you were in when you wore those shoes, and you say, oh, I want to, I don't know, have another pair like it, or I want to feel this way, is different to just putting a picture of Louboutins and saying, I want another pair of Louboutins, right?
Got
so that's the difference between an ego target and an intention target, just to make that differentiation clear again. It's the way it makes you feel. That doesn't mean it's wrong to buy another pair of Louboutins, but the intention and the energy behind it is different.
Yep, good.
Okay, great. Good. Okay, let me just check on my thing. What else do we have to do? All right, so are you all ready with your, have you picked your one intention for the next 21 days? Okay, perfect. I would like to ask you to share that intention because I just want to double check that it's on track.
I have a problem with it because I know that health should definitely be on top because that's going to have an impact on everything else. But health has been on my agenda for so long, so I don't feel at all excited. I just feel like, yeah, I need to do that because that's going to make a big difference.
Okay, so there are two things here. The one is, if it doesn't excite you, it's going to be a bit hard. And I'm thinking whether to cover this now. No, because it also has something to do with what we should no longer do, right? So things that should be off our desire list, or things that we should just say, okay, either I'm going to tackle it properly this year, or I'm going to change the intention behind it, or I'm going to change the energy behind it. Like, and the question is, what is a better feeling thought for you, and how can you shift the energy around this? What would excite you around it? Would it excite you to fit into a certain clothes that you had once in a day? Would it excite you to feel a certain way? Would it excite you to, like, what would excite you? Is there anything you can find that would excite you around reaching that intention? Because the overall topic of health is, I mean, everybody should be healthy in some kind of way, and then it becomes boring, right? So you need to fall in love with this intention, and you need to feel really excited about it, because if you don't, there's no point on following through for the 21 days, because if you're not excited, you're not excited. Like, you're probably not even going to show up for the calls. Because you're not excited about reaching this target. So what can we do in order to shift the excitement?
I'm not sure. I have to think about it, because I realized that is probably what's going to make the biggest difference for me. But I still don't feel excited. So I have to sit and think for a while what would make me excited.
Question. So I'm going to give you some questions for that. Okay. So the first question is, what is there something that this shift is going to enable you to do that you're not able to do right now? Is this shift going to be something that's going to allow you to make different kinds of memories? Is this shift going to allow you to connect with other people, different people? Is this shift going to allow you to fall in love with yourself again? Is that maybe something that excites you? Sorry?
What was number 2?
What was number 2?
Yeah.
A memory, I think it was about, is this shift going to allow you to create different memories? I think that was it. I channel these things sometimes, then I don't remember what I said 5 minutes ago. Bea has the same problem.
Can I say something to this? As I have been with Gunnar on this health journey for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
When I hear you, Gunnar, it's like I know it's what I have to do. Around it is not very high. So maybe this is just going to be a 21-day thing. Maybe you need to work on another intention that is going to give you more excitement, so you get the energy to work on your health. Because now you're pushing it. Oh, I better do my health thing. I think you need, you need to find joy. You need to have something else. So you will find the health thing being interesting to work on. I know you're going to fail if you're just going to do the health thing.
So
we've been talking about that for years.
There are 2 ways to approach this. The first one is what you just said, Charlotte, is to say, okay, before I set myself up for failure, I better choose another target that is going to excite me more, bring that to completion, be really excited about it, and then using that same energy, dedicate myself to the health topic. Or the other thing you can do is say, okay, I'm going to go all in for 21 days because it's just 21 days. And then I'm going to see what happens. That's the other thing you could do. But whatever you do, you need to go all in for 21 days. So if you say, okay, I'm going to dedicate myself to a different desire that makes my energy and my frequency and my heart go, oh, right? Or I'm going to dedicate myself to this for 21 days because I want to, and I know it's going to excite me if I dedicate myself to it really. But this is a decision you need to make for yourself, okay? So either way is good, but whatever you do, go all in.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
All right, very good one. Very, very good one. Thank you for bringing that up, Charlotte. Very good one. Okay, so sharing of intentions. Back to that. Who wants to start? Okay, Katri?
Yes, I had on my list, and when I put it down from pick one of those, it is to have a solid, even energy in my strength. Because I have an energy that have gone up and down, and I haven't done the right things to keep up my energy level. It has been a dip. So it's the most thing, if I can focus on to have my energy level on the right level, then I can do more and give more.
Okay.
Because otherwise, if I don't have the energy level on the same thing, then I don't have the power to do what I want and have the power to give to the people around me. Because that Via said, I recognize I need to have the energy, because if I don't have the right energy level, I can't drive through what I want to do, or I can't be there for the people I want to be there for, or reach the goals. And so it's really important for me to do the right thing to what gives me energy, and choose away things that steals energy from me.
Okay. Okay.
So it's the energy level to do the right thing, to have the right.
And that excites you?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Because when I do it, then I have a lot of energy just in overflow to do a lot of things that I love to do, or start new projects or something. So when I don't have and I don't nurture it, then to think or be afraid to start new things, because I don't think I have the level of energy to finish it.
Okay.
So it's has been an obstacle that I can be, that I don't be in different things, because I stopped doing things. I stopped meeting a lot of people and have a full agenda because I'm afraid that I can't have the energy level in that amount that I need to have to do everything in the way I want to do. So the most important thing for me is to focus on do the right things to, and I know what to do, but I haven't prioritized it. Sometimes I let people take my energy because, and I can't give it to them because I need it for myself for the moment. And to say no then, and to say that, okay, I can't engage me in those things because I need the time for do things for me to raise my, then I can give even more.
Okay, what if we can do both that and your purpose? Would that be even better?
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's do both. Let's do this, because the purpose for me has a lot to do with this energy thing, because when you know what your purpose is and you dedicate your time mainly to your purpose, or your energy mainly to your purpose, it will be easier to say no and to cut out the things that don't serve that purpose.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. Correct.
All right. Perfect. Great. Awesome. So we've got one. Who wants to go next?
Um,
Yes.
I can go next because it matches so good to.
Yes.
Yeah, because first I also thought about energy, because why I always have to I always call it hiding. Yeah, I have to be really for my own to really.
It's called
reach-
hermite state.
What is it called?
Hermite state.
Hermite, yes, yes. If everything in the outside gets too much, yeah, and it's overwhelming, I really have to hide again. And also then I cannot feel any joy being with people, because there is no, yeah, it distracts me too much. Yeah. And I think, Nadia, you told me also that I'm a reflector. So that's why I also have to be very, very careful of whom I'm with. But this is why also my goal would be to have this, was what I wrote down, to have joy. Sorry, I wrote it in German. That's why I take
That's fine. No problem.
enjoy joy and easiness with people, and also to be able to be with people and to be relaxed and protected. Because I think if nobody takes away my energy, I could yeah, I could I wouldn't need to hermitite, how you call it. Yeah.
You wouldn't need to be a hermit. Yeah.
Yeah. And maybe also I was thinking, while you were talking, Katri, I was thinking also maybe I would really attract other kind of people. Maybe people who would give me more energy, or who would lift me up in another way. Because right now I have the feeling I'm a giver, like giving energy.
Yeah, that was something that came up for me when both of you were talking. So Bea, when you were talking initially, and Katri, when you were talking now, was really this, but I want to give more. I need more energy so I can give more. It's like, that's the wrong way to look at it. It's not give me more energy so I can give more, because your cup is always going to be empty, because it's like you're filling the cup from the top, but there's a hole at the bottom and everything just continually leaks out, right? You need to think of it as a container of how can I hold more energy so I can keep more energy, not how can I get more energy so I can give more energy, right?
Yeah.
The energy is always yours. And if you don't feel like you've got leaks all over the place, and the energy is always yours, and you'll feel that energy all the time. And then you don't feel like you're giving or taking or leaking or anything. It's just you hold your energy.
Yeah, it's a very interesting aspect, Nadia. But coming from this corporate world, it feels like I have to function. So there was no questioning of just keeping it for me. It was receiving and giving for someone, the company, the people, the employees, whatever.
Exactly. But there's a way to deal with that energetically, that you can still function. But especially when it comes to coaching, you need to be much more aware of it, because in the corporate setting, like you said, you don't always have a choice. You can just learn to deal with it better. But in the coaching function, you have to deal with it better, because otherwise you cannot coach people if you have an empty cup. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, not in the long run, maybe in the corporate world, but it's easier to hide. Yeah. And
it's easier to hide, because you just go like, okay, I'm going to answer this email tomorrow. Or it's like, it always has 24 hours. There's rarely something that is so urgent that even though you have zero energy left, you cannot postpone something until the next day, right? So in corporate, typically you have a 24-hour answering policy. So that means that's the kind of way that you can deal with that. But when it comes to coaching, and you're sitting in that moment, or where somebody needs something from you, you cannot say, I'm not going to give it to you because my cup is empty now. Sorry. make us an appointment for next week. So that is really holding energy and creating like this protection shield. But also the other side of it is manifesting the right, like you said, the right people to come into your life, so that you don't feel this way anymore. Because I can tell you that what I've experienced in the last couple of weeks is this idea. I had a lot of drama in my family, and I said no more drama. And the more I said no more drama, the more drama kept showing up, because the universe doesn't understand the word no, it just understands drama, and kept sending me more drama. And so this drama kept on growing and growing and growing. And the moment I gave it less energy and less attention was the moment that the drama started like shrinking and started not coming into my life anymore, because I didn't give it any more focus and energy. So the thing is, how can you call in energies and frequencies and people that are, it's not necessarily the people, but it's the way the people act, because you will find that when you shift your energy of holding your energy, that the same people who may have drained you like crazy before no longer drain you, because your energy has changed. Right? And that's something that you want to learn. So it's not necessarily about manifesting new people. It's about learning and manifesting to hold your energy and holding that container and keeping it airtight. No leaks. Okay, so that's something we're going to learn. So that's no problem. We're going to do that. Joy and ease is also something that is on my desire list. So joy and ease is something that I put big on my list for the next 21 days. So how can I make everything I do, give it more joy and give it more ease? That was like, make it completely effortless. It's like just in flow, no matter what.
More energy then.
Exactly. More energy, more joy, actually less energy in that case. This particular case, it's less energy. Okay. All right. Next. Who's next?
I'm going last because I always talk.
You're going last.
Heather has to go before me.
Heather,
Okay.
go.
Well, I've written with reference to the intention, my intention that was to learn to walk with sadness and joy at the same time. And then I have my 3 top intentions from this, the previous exercise, which was actually, which has been an intention for a long time, but I haven't met it with my former relationship. But to have a relationship, because I'm a very relationship-oriented person, but to have a relationship which is defined by soundness and safety, and based on love, that is sort of my main intention.
Soundness and safety. Okay. So for the 21 days, the one to walk with sadness and joy at the same time is going to be really good. And the other intention I would like you to set is to work on soundness and safety. The thing is that you can only attract a relationship that includes soundness and safety if you yourself experience soundness and safety. So you need to give yourself soundness and safety first.
Yeah.
And then you can experience it in a relationship. Okay. I've talked a lot about this in my group, that when I manifested my current relationship, I was looking for Hollywood love, which sounds a bit ridiculous, but it was the way it was. And the thing is that I manifested, or I wanted to have this Hollywood movie romance. That was my deepest desire. I didn't even consciously know that that was my deepest desire, but I acted and I put myself in the energy of it through different kinds of things that I did. Like, for example, I watched a lot of movies that were extremely romantic, and I watched them so many times that I fast forwarded to just the romantic scenes. And my intention initially was to make the relationship I had at the time more romantic. But what happened was that we actually grew apart, and I found a new relationship that had this Hollywood love. So that's where I say you first need to feel the soundness and safety within you, because I felt the romance within me, even though it was not happening outside, in order to manifest the soundness and the safety. Okay. So this is something that I would like you to look for, a lot of soundness and safety in the next 21 days. Okay. All right. And Gunnel, since you're already coughing, have you reframed it yet, or you want to do it over the next couple of days?
I think I need to do it over the next couple of days. But what the main purpose really is what everyone else, or a lot of you have been talking about already, is the energy. I mean, I have such low energy right now, so I hardly find anything fun, amusing, whatever. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I'm in the bottom, and it has never been that low before. So when I'm talking about health, that's a way for me of trying to get some energy back, because what I really need is the energy.
Okay, that's an interesting one. So would it excite you to have more energy then?
Once again, please, what did you say?
Would it excite you to have more energy?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so let's reframe it into that. So I would like you to reframe it really into this having more energy. What would that feel like? What would that cause? Because as you say, the health is then a result out of having more energy, because if you have more energy and you find more ways in order to experience having more energy and having more joy and more ease, then the health is a result of that. Beautiful realization. Okay, Charlotte.
Okay.
Sorry, Charlotte, one more thing. Christina, can you write yours down in the meantime while Charlotte is talking? Because otherwise we have to do things in parallel. Okay, yes, sorry, Charlotte.
Okay. So I have 3 top intentions, but I choose one for the 21 days that is really exciting for me.
Good.
That is, I'm going to transform myself into a goddess.
I love that.
Yeah, I actually want to transform my energy. I have been working so much with my masculine energy throughout my whole life, pushing, driving. And I have achieved, I'm really into achievement. And I want to develop my feminine, sensual, feminine energy and feel happy in my body, mind, spirit, which means I will also attract other things into my life that I know will be good for, for my other intentions. And I started this journey back in in the fall, when I went into my closet and I looked, who the hell is the woman who bought this shit hanging in my, who is this woman who bought this stuff? I just felt like I'm going through a transformation. I can't wear these things anymore. So this is what I want to focus on, and it gets me really excited because I have some other intentions as well. But, they're also a little bit more achieving. So I think, no, I'm going to be working more on being.
Beautiful. I love that. And by the way,
about that, Nadja?
I think it's really good because it was my intention exactly 1 year ago. So that was my intention exactly 1 year ago, because I also noticed I was very much into this hustle, doing achievements, to-do lists and all the things. And by focusing more on the feminine and really tapping into this goddess energy and all of that, I managed to shift a lot of things in my life. So that was really, really, really a big one. So I love it. I think it's a very, very good intention. And it's a perfect time to focus on for 21 days. And yeah, I think for you, it's going to be very easy to implement that because it's a very clear target and it's very clear of what is yes and what is no. Because some of the other targets are a bit more like joy and ease, for example, is very clear. Protecting energy is not that clear. Is it like this decision or that decision, right? So in terms of the exercises, I love this goddess energy one because it's very clear and very, very direct. So
I don't need to work on my badass or my achieving energy. That we already know that works. And now with starting new things, etc., I know that's going to work. What actually is going to attract, making me feel much better and attract a lot of new people and a lot more success, because I have big intentions for the next 2 years. This is what needs to happen. I know it. and you're a great guide then, because you already did the journey. And you see, when I have known Nadia for 4 years. I think we met 5 years ago. And when I saw her
Awesome.
again in the fall in the group, I had to contact her and ask her, what the hell have happened to you? You know, she's transformed. She looks so different. And I said, well, if you can do it, I can do it too. You really do. So something happened, but it shifted for you a lot, didn't it?
Yeah, it shifted for me a lot, and setting this intention of being more feminine and also relaxing more, being more on the spiritual side of attracting things, playing around with the universe and manifesting and all of that, that changed a lot. So this is a huge part of it, and focusing more on being and less on doing is a huge shift, because it's more around enjoying life, being like, who do I want to be every day? And this is something I've been working so much on, who I am and who I want to be. And I set this intention of becoming the best version of myself. And like, even as I said before, there was a lot of drama happening in the family. The thing I always asked myself was, how can I become a better leader and lead myself and my family through this whilst tuning down the drama? Because my initial reaction is the way I was programmed as a kid from my dad, that was like, how dare they say this, those assholes, idiots, whatever swear word you want to use, and being this like very aggressive, very confronting, very direct energy. So I really had to rewire myself in order to go into this feminine and going into leadership and being like, okay, if I'm like the super duper leader, how would the super duper leader deal with this situation? How can I do this from an energetically squeaky clean perspective of where I'm happy and everybody's happy, and this is the highest intention for everybody and not just for myself, and not to be emotionally involved and attached into all the drama, and not letting myself be sucked into the drama of going like, but she said this about me, and that person said that, and they said this about the other person, and da 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 da, like, none of this doesn't make any sense.
For me, that is very much hand in hand with my intention as well, I must say, because that has been part of my life as well, and my family's drama.
Yeah.
Also.
Yeah. So this is something, when you work on holding your own energy, and when you work on not getting involved and being sucked into the drama, what happens is one, you stop the drama, but also a lot of relationships. That's why I said before, it's not about manifesting the right people, it's that the relationships change. So some relationships change and shift, that people all of a sudden approach you in a completely different way, but they didn't change, but you did. And the second thing is that people just fall out of your life, or they contact you less, they're less involved in your life. Like, I have one friend, she was responsible for a lot of not drama in my life, but she always had a lot of drama in her life, and she doesn't contact me that often anymore. Like, we speak once around Christmas and once for her birthday and my birthday, and that's it. So it's because we have no more connection points, and because I give no more energy to her drama. When she tells me all of her stories, I just sit there and go, no face, no thing, no interaction into all the drama. When she tells me something positive, I'm like, oh my God, that's amazing. Yay, congratulations, this, that, drama. And that's the only way to do it. You don't give it any more energy. So these are some of the things that we're going to practice. And I've been writing whilst we were talking to make sure, because this program, of course, there is an agenda, so to speak, of the certain things that we're going to do. But I am, of course, going to adapt the things that we're going to be doing according to what you guys told me. And the interesting thing is that the topics you guys have told me are all in a way a little bit similar, even though the intentions are different, but the underlying topics are the same. So we spoke about energy, we spoke about boundary setting, we spoke about drama, goddess energy, being instead of doing, getting rid of the how, all of these things, right? So this is where a lot of the things are going to focus. And this is where I also always strongly believe that the group always comes together the way it's supposed to come together. And the other people that are going to be joining once they watch this, so for all of those of you that are watching the recording and are setting your intentions, please post them in the group when you do, and I will look at them to make sure that I integrate some exercises for you as well. Once you join, those of you joining on the 1st, I know one of you is joining on the 10th, and I think one of you is joining on the 3rd or 4th or something like that. So I need to know your intention so that I know what kind of like, how do I frame the exercises in a way that makes sense for all of you. Okay. All right, let's wrap this up. Christina said she needs more time. That's fine. You can either write it now or you can write it later in the group, but please, please, please let me know what the intention is. And are there any questions left before we close and restart on the 1st of January?
So my question is on what should we have done by the 1st of January then?
I'll get into that in a second.
Okay.
Any other questions?
I'll hear what you're saying, then we'll
Okay. All right. So what I want you to do until the 1st of January is I want you to massage your intentions. Okay. So massage the one that you're going to work on in a way that makes it feel really good and really, so one, you want to be excited about this intention that you're going to work on for the next 21 days. When you have finished massaging it, please post the final version in the group. Okay, so that we can all give each other feedback, especially Christina and Gunnel, because I know you guys definitely need more massaging time. You guys, I really want to see the intention. So when you post it in the group, please tag me so I see it. And so that's the one thing. So I really want you to perfectionize this one intention. The second thing I want you to do is to finalize your list of your desires and to finalize your intentions for 2022. Although the word finalizing is a bit under quotation marks, like I want you to take some time to deal with it, think about it, see what comes up. However, I want you to know that all of this is a work in progress. So it's never a finished, finalized document. Like I'm not going to make you laminate your list and be like, this is the final for 2022 and we cannot change it. It's a living document that as you evolve, as you grow, as you work on your energy and all the things, it will change and it will continue to, evolve. Stupid word again, but it will continue to evolve. Okay. So it's
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Because you said first to massage my intention so that it's formulated in a good way. The second was to finalize a list of desires, which is long-term, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
The desire list and intention list is long-term. So look at your desires, turn them into intentions, unless you can turn them into intentions right away. Finalize it as in work on it, but it's not final, as in you're going to continue to work on it for a long time.
Yeah, because I was thinking you said as a third task was to finalize the list of intentions for 2022. And I mean, that could be sort of a part of the desires. Yeah.
So some of you, it will be to do the desires list and then formulate them into intentions. Okay. Some of you you can go directly into setting the intentions because you're already wired in a way where you can immediately formulate it into intentions. It's up to you. You can try doing the intentions. If it's too hard, go back to just writing desires and then formulating them into intentions. Okay. It's like a 2A and 2B kind of. And the third thing is going to do the vision board. And again, the vision board, you can finalize it if you want to until we start on the 1st of Jan. I just want you to start on it. Okay. So start gathering pictures, getting into the energy, feeling what you want to have. Like the most important part of all of this is the way it makes you feel.
I'm sorry, Nadia. I'm still having a problem between desires and intentions.
Mhm.
If I just go back to my notes here, then
Yeah.
then I put in my main desires of the long list that I had. Then I put the 3 top desires, and that was one was a long-term safe relationship. Another was a move to Stockholm eventually in the next few years. And the third was my sort of vision of a wonderful house that I want to build there. That was my 3 top desires. And then I put the most important one was this safe and sound relationship. Yeah. So is that so should I put, do you mean that I should put desires for my move to Stockholm eventually and also, no, intentions, sorry, for a move to Stockholm and intentions for a house by the water?
Right. So remember when we spoke about desires versus intentions? So a desire is like my desire was the Harris house, for example, right? That's my desire. And then when I put it into intention, I infuse energy behind it. So something that makes me feel excited and feel amazing. And the second is a non-ego target. So a house by the water, for example, is a super easy target to be an ego target. Like it would be an ego target if I would say, I want to have a house by the water because I want to impress all of my friends to see how amazing I'm doing in business by having a second house that is on the water, right? That would be a typical ego target. If you put it into a target that is a bigger version of it, like for example, I want to have a house on the water so I can spend time with my family and we can all be there together and we can celebrate each other and I can spend time with my grandkids and or I want to invite my friends and have amazing transformational conversations. You know, it's like you infuse it with more than just a desire. The intention is a bigger thing, right? So the same with your move to Stockholm. Imagine what kind of place you want to live in, what's going to happen there, how is it going to make you feel?
Yeah, so okay, so I understand. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. And the third one is the visualization. So to start with it, if you want to do it graphically, as in cut out and on actual paper, or if you want to do it in an app, completely up to you. Some people also do PowerPoint presentations, by the way. So if you're not like on a phone person, but you want to have it bigger, you can do it in Keynote or PowerPoint on your computer. That's also a way of doing it because it's also still nice and visual, and then you can print it and it's easier to exchange it. Whereas once it's glued on paper, it's a bit harder to remove it. But I leave that.
But is the vision board now, is that for the top intention that we talked about, or is it for the intention 2022, or
It's
what is
2022. It's 2022. So it's
it? So it's actually
whatever.
those 3 that we
It's
talked about.
3 or more, right? It's whatever you want to put on it. Like if you want to put 10, it really depends on how much you put on there and what, like I would start with the ones that you prioritize. And then if you still have time and you enjoy it and you want to do more, do more. And if you say, okay, I actually had enough with sticking and gluing and stuff, then it's just the 3. The main thing is I want you at the end of those 3 exercises to look at that vision board and feel true excitement about the memories you're going to make, right? Because remember, on the vision board, we're also going to put memories and we're going to put the intentions. Okay. Any other questions?
Do you want us to accomplish this vision board by the 1st of January?
I would like you to start with the vision board by the 1st of January. So I want you to either have opened up a document or have some kind of paper where there are at least a few things sticking on it. But it's another work in progress thing. So it's never finished and finalized. The thing is, overall, for this whole 21 days, the more time you dedicate to it, the more you spend with the intention and the energy and all these things, the more will happen in this process. So this is something that I just want you to realize, that the more you do, the more will happen. Very simply put, because you're more in the energy of it. It's very simple. It's the where focus goes, energy flows. As simple and as uncomplicated as that. Great. Okay, any other questions before we wrap up? Okay, good. Then thank you so much for being here today. For those of you that are watching the replay, thank you so much for watching the replay. I love this group. I love the energy. It's been such a pleasure to be here with all of you, to set powerful intentions, to do this all together. And I'm really excited to seeing your vision boards. I'm really excited to see your intentions. And I'm even more excited what's going to unfold in the next 21 days, or bit more than 21 days, but starting 1st of January, what's going to unfold in the 21 days after that. If you have any questions, please make sure that, so all the communication is going to be in the group. Because otherwise we have things all over all kinds of channels, and then it becomes messy. So any questions regarding the program, regarding anything, posted in the group. And yeah, I'm super looking forward to this. I wish you a wonderful celebration into the new year. Enjoy it, and already don't forget your 3 things: gratitude, beauty, and feeling good in the meantime. Okay. All right, guys, thank you. Have a wonderful evening and a wonderful couple of days, and I see you back on the 1st of January.
Yeah, good rutsch.
Bye.
Ciao.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Bye bye.
Hejdå.